Going on, guys, Jet Fan here, Genova on the screen, aiming system mod 1. Our commander is Sanzanetti, and yeah, Makawa and Kudasov for the inspirations. You see there 30,000 HP, 15.2 on the firing range, 16.5 on the fire chance, 8-kilometer torpedoes with that quick reload. AA, not much, but you're at a tier 4, so, you know, is what it is. 8.3 on the rudder shift, and 35.5 knots in the water, 8.5 kilometer detectability. Armor, not a whole lot, and then that Citadel is massive. If battleships are shooting at you, it's going to be a bad day for you. Just letting you know right off the bat, you gotta be mindful of the battleship shooting at you. Mimbelli may not be a bad choice on this cruiser, but again, I like to have that little extra reach, especially when you have such a slow reload. Having to get up close and fight up close with this ship doesn't usually end up very well. The issue that Genova has, twofold, but the bigger issue is the reload. This reload was sitting at about 15 seconds, you know. Then we're talking about a much more viable, much more basically playable cruiser at tier 4. A lot of cruisers at tier 4 have quick reloads, okay? They obviously don't have the same gun caliber, but when you're being HE'd repeatedly and this ship just eats damage, you don't ricochet very much, you don't do much of that, so you're constantly getting peppered with damage, and you're getting a salvo out for every 2, maybe even 3 salvos. For other ships, you're basically getting out DPM'd by a significant margin, and that eventually catches up with you. So because of that, I like to stay a little more range with this thing. This is more of a, I hate to say it, but it's a little more backlined, and you have to play a little more like you would play a Zuma. Basically, if you like a Zuma, like I do, you can survive and you can get away with some stuff in this ship. This ship, though, is not one where you're going to be able to, you know, go in and brawl, because that gun reload and the armor on this thing is just not good enough. So you have to know basically what your strengths are of this ship, and that is that the guns do hit hard when they hit, when you actually get a chance to shoot. So you got to take advantage of those chances. And the other advantage that I have yet to talk about is the torpedoes. Yes, they are Italian torpedoes, I understand that. Yes, they get made fun of, the Italian torpedoes, for being sea mines because they are extremely slow in the water, but they reload every 40-something seconds. And yeah, 47 seconds they reload. So again, you know, by the time that those torpedoes are getting to their target at that 8-kilometer range, you know, you're basically going to be close to being able to send out another salvo. You got 4 torpedoes on each side, so I mean, you can really throw out a decent amount of basically stuff in the water. Now, are they great hard-hitting torpedoes? No. Max is 9,067, 9067. So, you know, again, they're not. These aren't Japanese torpedoes. These aren't, you know, little nuclear warheads that are basically being thrown out there. But they do serve a purpose, and they do play a role. Okay, double Omaha sailing in here. Now the AP on this, it is effective. Okay, in the right situation against cruisers, broadside cruisers, you can do substantial damage. It does suffer though from overpens at times. So ideally, the best thing that could happen is that you have a slightly angled cruiser. A flat broadside cruiser, you might be getting a lot of overpens. Okay, so just be mindful of that. We got double Omaha here. They're basically sailing in. They're a little bit, you know, not respecting our you know, ability to deal damage. You see there again, we're just getting the torpedoes out on reload, right? We see that there might be a possibility that battleship pushes around that corner. We're just going to get those torpedoes out. You see there a big chunk on that Omaha, but what was that, 10 plus K salvo with a Citadel. And then this other Omaha, we're using the last little bit of this here smoke, and then we're going to get those guns off again. This Omaha, let's see what we do to this one. Oh my. Okay, 4 citadels, 5 penetrations, and yeah, we left him with probably about 500 health left. So that's exactly to the point of what I was saying before. And then you see there, our torpedo, we actually do get one hit on that battleship. So we're up to 58,000 damage, you know. And here I'm trying to set up a double strike, and it doesn't end up working out for me. But, you know, I think it's fun when you can try to set up those double strikes. And there you see a double overpen that I was talking about. It is nice being an Italian cruiser and having sonar. Not most of the Italian cruisers have it. The only ones that do are the premiums. Obviously, this is a free premium. And then you see there we get another citadel. That's our 6th citadel of the game, and we take him out. So you see there, I noticed New Mexico basically starting to get a little eye looking at us there. And my initial plan was to turn in and go after that Japanese destroyer. This right here, I was expecting to basically take at least a citadel and go down to about 8k. Somehow he aimed poorly or had bad dispersion, or a little bit of both. So we get a double fire there. That's a total. That's the game just being cruel to that guy. A double fire after he should have probably devastating struck us, and you know, it's just sometimes this game, you know, it is what it is. A little bit of a dice roll. But anyway, we'll kind of round out my thoughts on Genova here. Reload is atrocious, yes, but the Alpha Strike ability, i.e. the chance to do devastating damage on that first strike, especially against cruisers, is legitimate. It is there, okay? So when you have those opportunities to basically catch a cruiser broadside or partially broadside, you're going to do some serious damage, okay? Especially at tier 4, you have a lot of those like this one, cruisers with very large citadels that can be punished for showing too much broadside, and that can pretty easily be removed from the game if they don't tighten up that angle a little bit. So you have those advantages, use them. Do not be afraid to you know, pick your spot to push a little bit, but you have to be mindful that you have the slowest reload by a mile at this tier for the cruisers. So you're going to be out DPM'd by other cruisers, and even destroyers are going to be able to pepper you with their HE and do damage to you. So just be mindful of that as you play, and be aware of that as a threat to you. You see there another double fire puts us up to 8 fires here. This thing, you know, especially with this build that I have, you know, you're getting a good chance to set fire. You see Leona there. We're going to throw up a salvo at them. And in general, again, like I was saying, just know where the guns stand. They can be heavy hitters, but they are also detrimental in the sense that they take so long to reload. The armor is not very good. Battleships can do serious damage to you, and can remove you quickly. Like I said, I got dev struck in this ship pretty easily. It was a 1 salvo, full health to none, gone. Front guns took out half, and then the rear guns basically finished me off. So yeah, so that's a big challenge you got to look at. But the concealment's good. The torpedoes you can fire on reload. So basically what I'm saying is, if you have Bellerophon, finish out the challenges for it. Okay, you can get this ship. It's a fun ship at times. It's frustrating. You know, it is what it is. But I would get it. If you have Bellerophon, just grind it for a little bit. Get this ship and leave it in port if you don't like it. If you like the video, leave it a like. We will see you guys out on the high seas.